Alright, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan. This is part 2 of the 2,250 subs Q&A. Last time we left off with questions from Van Nocturne and Acid Rain. Now we have a few different people asking some questions here. First one off the bat is Julian Gonzalez, who asks, do you like Dying Fetus? Yes, I do. I have the 4th, 5th, and 6th album by them. Favorite Darkthrone album? Now, everyone would expect me to either say Blazing the Northern Sky or Transylvanian Hunger, but, you know, I don't want to be cliche. So I'm going to say either Hate Them from their black metal period, or Fuck Off and Die from their kind of crust, black and crust punk kind of period. Those were really cool, and I also had a Fuck Off and Die shirt a year or two ago, but it was a size small, and I'm now an XL, so I sold it. What is your favorite album you don't own? Basically anything by Owl's Blood, and I really need to get my hands on it. And from Slam, I need to get the Human Smasher album by Paroxysmal Butchering. So fucking good. So if anyone wants to, you know, get me a present, there you go. Yeah. So anyways, that's the questions from Julian Gonzalez. Thank you for asking, man. Hope I answered them to the best of my abilities and to your satisfaction. Next is Tim Wigby, who asks, do you think that the whole YouTube metal community is now oversaturated? Do you feel that we are now in a never-ending cycle of people doing the same content, i.e. same bands, unboxings, and live streams, where even the participants seem to be getting bored? I think the metal YouTube community is I still think it's actually quite the small community. There's still a lot of people that I've yet to discover who probably do really good videos, who do an excellent job of describing the bands that they've picked up or want to get, or lists of things, who are well spoken, very confident, have better fucking cameras than I do, I'm sure. Like Scourge of Vinyl, I recently discovered him and I really enjoy his material. He's a little kind of monotone, and he doesn't get super duper excited or super pissed off or anything crazy, but he says what he needs to say, and he shows off some really good stuff, and his camera is, it's better than mine, so there's that. As for people showing off the same albums, well, it's a community, right? So we're all going to be watching all of our videos. Depending on who you are, you're going to watch certain channels and not others, based on your preferences or whether you've actually discovered these channels yet. It's kind of a toss-up there, but if you watch the main one, like the biggest ones that I'm aware of being like Infidel Amsterdam, Count Blagorath, Runner JMA, Wyatt Exham, Canyon Bickle, any of those like 4 or 5 dudes, they do sometimes show off similar things or even the exact same album, but they also watch each other, I'm sure, watch each other's channels. They get inspired. One of them suggests something that they recently got and go, hey, this is good, you should check it out. They check it out, they buy it, and go, hey, this is awesome, I'm going to show it off on my channel. And it's a little bit of back and forth. Like, they inspire each other, they kind of suggest each other different bands. I'm inspired by some of their channels and what they've got, so I go check them out and see if I like them. Some bands I like, some bands I don't like. And I'm sure I do the same for other channels as well. I pick up some things that maybe not too many people have heard of and go, oh, this is cool, let's check it out. But I'm also sure that I show off a bunch of shit that has already been shown, like the new Leviathan that everyone has, like Inquisition, like any Drowning the Light, because me, Wyatt, Nick, fucking Canyon Bickle, we all show off that stuff. But each one of our channels, for the most part, show off unique things every now and then. The ones that I don't really see too many talking about are like Oncreg, Summon, Human Bodies, Hennesist Host, or just obscure like slam bands too. If you want some really good slam bands and talk about that, check out death metal fan, he has some cool stuff. Or if you're into grind, check out the Grind Guru. I don't know. I don't think it's super duper oversaturated, and the only reason it would be is because we're all inspiring each other and to pick up different albums and kind of showing off, you know, showing each other different things to get. And be like, hey, check this out, get it, it's really good. I mean, the Metalhead box, it's kind of just recently blown up this year, and there's a lot of people that are getting into it, and it's a good thing. And I feel that there might be a lot of people showing off their box, but at the same time, not everyone knows everyone else's channel. It can't be said enough that the Metalhead box is a really, really cool like company, and they have some really good products. I just resubscribed for you know, July's box. Can't wait to get that sometime, probably the first week of August. And you know, if you think it's oversaturated, then my suggestion would be maybe to just watch your favorite channel for certain content and watch a different channel for that certain content. Like, if you think my Metalhead box unboxings are the best, then watch my channel for the Metalhead unboxings. If you think Kenyon Bickle has the most obscure and rare black metal albums and everyone else is just copying him, then just watch Kenyon for the, you know, black metal vinyl collection updates. If you find that Wyatt XM does the best top 10 lists, then go watch him for that. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta pick your battles. If you think stuff is oversaturated, then maybe it's not so much the content creators, maybe it's who you're choosing to watch. Just food for thought. I don't think we're oversaturated, and I think there definitely could be a lot more metalhead, you know, YouTube content creators out there with obscure, maybe not so obscure music. Maybe it's a little more friendly, a little bit more open-minded than, you know, myself or others. But there's definitely new ways that this could be taken upon, and I don't know. If you feel jaded, maybe it's just the way you're going about viewing certain topics or updates. Maybe it's who you're watching. I don't know. I don't feel it's oversaturated, and I think there needs to be more of us metalheads with an open mind on YouTube showing off rare and cool shit, and buying physical copies. That is the main thing. Buying physical copies and showing the fact that you've actually put your hard-earned money into it, so that other people, younger generations, can be inspired to actually put the fucking money out to buy stuff and not just download things. So yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think it's oversaturated, and I'm looking forward to discovering more metalheads, content creators on YouTube. Next is from Give Me the Atmosphere, who asks, what's your favorite rainy day album? Mine is Boris and Ian Astbury collaboration, or mine is the Boris and Ian Astbury collaboration. Black Sabbath self-titled, because it opens up with a thunderstorm and rain, and it's just dark and ominous, and the atmosphere is just great and creepy, and Ozzy's vocals back then were just fucking godly. So yeah, Black Sabbath self-titled. Metalhead Mike Hefner says, do you like Trailer Park Boys? That show rocks and is based in Canada. Sorry, bud, I hate to burst your bubble, but I can't stand Trailer Park Boys. I can't stand something that like glorifies the white trash lifestyle, whether it's making fun of it or whether it's, you know, like doing it sarcastically or in a parody manner. I don't like it. It's lowbrow. The comedy, if there is any in it, is probably just really unclassy and just, I don't know, man. I can't get into it. It doesn't sit with my taste, and the fact that it's considered Canadian or somehow reflects Canada in any manner is, a damn shame, in my opinion. So no, I do not like Trailer Park Boys. I think it's white trash garbage. Sorry, man. Same with any of the garbage fucking bullshit representation of Canada. Like the Red Green Show, that's not Canadians. They're not like that. Canadian Bacon with fucking John Candy or whatever his name was, garbage. That does not represent Canada. That does not represent what we're like or how we talk. Those shows just are garbage. Sorry. Edgar Sanchez asks, is there a holy grail item you have lost or damaged and are still sore about to this day? I can't really think of anything, but I do have an Alice Cooper tape hanging around here that the J card, I mutilated the fuck out of it just to like tape it onto a binder for school, and I just want to go back and slap myself in the face for doing that to it, for ruining the shape of the Alice Cooper tape and cassette. I don't know why the fuck I did that. I obviously had no respect for cassettes or regard for how into them I would get in the future. So yeah, kind of pissed off with myself for fucking that shit up and mutilating the J card, but whatever. Has there ever been a horror film that was so frightening or disturbing that you had a hard time watching it? That's also from Edgar Sanchez. I think Saw number 1 and number 2 back when it first came out. I saw it in theaters. I saw it with my dad. I hadn't seen anything like that before yet in horror, and like the whole torture porn idea of people getting like slowly like hurt or like mutilated and stuff like that, it kind of got under my skin, and I'm just like, oh god. I watched it and I fucking love the series now, but when I first saw it, that was some intense shit. A more recent one would probably be the Human Centipede Part 2. I just ate a bunch of McDonald's and I was like chowing down on a McDouble or something, and it came to the scene where the dude, like, spoilers by the way, he starts cutting into this person's kneecap and cutting the tendons and then like stapling shit shut, and like I got a little nauseous watching that. I had to like run to the washroom and just kind of like kneel in front of the toilet for a second and be like and like had to sit there for like 10 minutes while I had like cold sweats, and I'm like, okay, I'm good, let's go back and watch the rest and just finish my burger. But yeah, it was pretty disturbing at the time, and that spoiler again, scene where the woman gives birth in the car and then crushes the fetus's head in with the gas pedal. Oh my god, dude, that's brutal shit. Alright, let's do a couple more. It's only about 13 minutes in, and the last video was 20, so fuck it. Alright, next one is, I'm not going to pronounce her name right, bro, so sorry. Josip Sorik? I don't know how to fucking pronounce her name, I'm sorry. But he asks, do you like Twin Peaks TV show? Never watched it, and I think I've just barely heard of it. I don't even know if it's on Netflix or anything like that. Tell me some more about it. Maybe convince me that it's worth watching, and I'll give it a look-see. Next one comes from a fan named Fire, and they ask, what's the craziest thing you've ever done? Well, I broke my fucking femur skateboarding. I'm an idiot, but I took a running start and I zoomed across the cement fucking skate park, and I went to drop down into the bowl. I went and I stopped right here at the top of the bowl. I went fucking flying. Like, the board stayed because the trucks got caught on the lip of the cement bowl. I went BAM! Yeah, and you know how your leg's straight? Well, the bowl wasn't, so I just went and I snapped right at the femur, and I'd never broken a bone before except my collar, doing like crazy carpeting down a hill and having my cousin pull a GT up behind me. So basically my femur snapped in half because the bowl is round, and I was probably going about 20 fucking miles per hour, And since I never broken a bone before, like I said, except for my collar, sort of, I thought my leg was popped out of socket, or my hip was popped out of socket. So I'm like trying to shove my leg back into socket, and screaming profanities and whatnot while this is going on. And the paramedics came, and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to push it back into socket. They're like, no, you have a broken femur, you're pushing, you know, sharp bone against muscle tissue and tendons. I'm like, oh god. So anyways, they gave me morphine, they threw me back on a gurney stretcher or whatever, and brought me up out of the cement bowl, and that was fun. That took probably from about mid-September till about mid-September of 2009 till about January or February 2010. So yeah, a few months healing time. And they said that if the marrow from my leg had have traveled to my heart, I could have been dead. So I'd say that's one of the craziest things I've done, besides maybe being an idiot and jumping off the roof of a building and trying to land on top of one of those industrial sized garbage cans that have the plastic kind of lid. I figured I'd land on there and then jump off. I hit the lid, sunk in a bit, and then flipped over and onto the ground. I had a few, you know, scrapes and cuts and bruises, but that was about it. But yeah, those are probably the craziest things I've ever done. Next is a question or two from Spike Skittles. And she asks, how old were you when you first discovered metal, and how did you come across it? Well, once again, my mom and dad used to just listen to Sabbath and Ozzy and Alice Cooper and stuff like that. I think I was first kind of exposed to it around 6 years old, and they just kind of escalated from there. So yeah, is there a band you absolutely refuse to listen to? Probably like Kiss, because fuck Gene Simmons. I really don't like Slayer anymore. I used to when I was in high school a bit. But I've just grown to hate Tom Araya's vocals, and the releases they've been coming out with has just been slowly becoming more and more garbage. What is the best concert or show you've ever been to? I've been to a few. I think one of the top ones though is probably the Waking the Cadaver show, which was the first show they ever did in Canada, down in Newcastle at a venue called V-Gates Amigos. It was crazy. There's so much action in the pit. I got 2 shirts from the band, talked to Don Campen for a bit, although I highly doubt he remembers me, because that was so long ago, man. That was like back when I was in DFAsia still, I think, so like 2010, end of 2010. Okay, also there's some really good shows too. The Hollywood Undead show I saw in Toronto was pretty good. There was like a really long wait between the last kind of opening band and then Hollywood Undead. I think it was like about an hour before they got on stage after that last band finished. Maybe a band dropped off and there was just you know, no filler spot, or maybe there's like some VIP thing going on backstage with Hollywood Undead, but it kind of sucked. Waiting around that long was kind of a pain in the ass. There was this douchebag that would just jump around and be an idiot and like whack into me, and he's like, yeah, you know, just drunken morons that shows. But once Hollywood Undead actually got on stage and started performing, it was a fun fucking time, let me tell you. And then the third best probably would be the Rob Zombie and Korn show. Unfortunately, In This Moment didn't show up, and that's the band that the wife was really looking forward to see. But I guess they had some troubles with some visas getting over into Canada. But man, Rob Zombie was pretty good. I don't know if he does that in every show, but he skips like some lines in a few songs, and he just doesn't really sing certain parts, and I don't know if he just leaves it up to the crowd to sing it or not. He wasn't really doing the hold the mic out thing too much, so I don't know. I don't know what that was, but other than that, it was a pretty good show. I was glad to see him live. It was one of those like bucket list things to go see. And Korn, holy fuck! Like, what your opinion on them and nu metal is regardless, but they went off fucking hard that night. Like, oh my god, some of the songs were just heavy as hell. We were just kind of like out in the grass section of the Molson Amphitheater, and it was still like the ground was almost shaking from how heavy that was. So those are really cool. I want to say the Black Sabbath show because, you know, it was the last time Black Sabbath was ever going to perform, and I wanted to see Ozzy before he fucking died, and it was, you know, but it wasn't the funnest show. So you know, even though it was a bucket list show, it still wasn't like the funnest or the most fun. And finally, is there an album that you are dying to get your hands on? Yeah, once again, anything by Owl's Blood. It's rare. It's kind of expensive as fuck. Even the tapes are expensive as fuck. Trying to get that like one EP that Damar released. They're like a Black and Noise grind band. Really cool stuff. But I've been seeing it go around for like 25 or 30 euros plus shipping. So good luck ever getting that. Unless you're, you know, strapped with like handfuls of cash, and I guess you could pay for it. I'm also looking for a physical copy of The Echo of Her Cracking Chest by Acranius. That was like their first EP. That'd be really cool to get. But once again, that's like 50 or 60 US dollars plus shipping. M3 by Mushroomhead. I have a guy that's, you know, waiting to sell it to me, but I just have to wait for my next, you know, influx of spending money to be able to buy that off him. Obscuritatum, anything by them. If you've seen Wyatt's channel in the last month or so, he's talked about them a lot. He recently got Vampire's Cacophony or whatever it's called on tape. Oh my god, I would love that. Holy shit. And it's not rare or too expensive, but Ashdotes, their full-length album, like that gray one that Nick's shown off, and that I'm pretty sure Wyatt's shown off. But yeah, that gray album by Ashdotes, really want to get that. I have their Where the Sun Dies or Where the Sun is Silent EP on tape, but I want to get their full length. So thanks for your question, Fire, and thanks for your question, Spike Skittles. I'm going to do one more before I end this video. This is by Extremity Retained. They say, what was the first band you were seriously into, metal or not? Well, when I was a kid, like around 6 to 10, it was obviously Black Sabbath, Ozzy, and Alice Cooper. And then when I got into high school, it was Insane Clown Posse, Tool, Disturbed, and Slipknot. Like it was like this weird mix of like nu metal and then like Insane Clown Posse and then Tool on this side. It's like really weird. And yeah, I haven't been into Insane Clown Posse since they released Hell's Pit. Everything after that was pretty much a joke, and I couldn't take them seriously anymore. They seemed like they just stopped trying, and then they revived the Joker's cards. The second deck is now out. It's like, oh my god, guys, call it quits. You're not doing yourself any favors except for maybe pulling in some more money. But yeah, so anyways, that's episode 2 or part 2 of the 2,250 subs Q&A. Stick around for part 3. For Glory, for Rebellion, Slimer out.